Hi, pod kids. I am back. The Finding Happy podcast will now be in this feed. I just want to thank all the pod kids that went up to me nung pod kid forever. It like I always say, diba? The one thing na wag niyong tipirin is kind things to say, and that's exactly what happened during the pod kid forever event. A bunch of people went up to me and said like, "Hey, I really enjoyed those um, Finding Happy episodes." So if you don't know, I actually started during 2020. Nag-release ako ng few episodes. I was trying to build like a solo pod um, specifically for career issues, you know, business, things na we don't get to usually talk about on the pod. So I started that, and just like everything else I do, I come out swinging, and it was a super project, and parang nakailang episodes ako tuloy-tuloy, and then nagkasabay-sabay parang all the projects happened, and personally I I had a hard time doing solo pod. Like right now, medyo find it weird, but I guess it's something I've got to learn because of all the stories that were shared to me na like there was this guy na who told me he was a CPA and then ended up not pursuing a career in accounting. I don't know if sinay ko nga sa kanya, wow, like really? So I don't know if um I gave the best advice, pero I mean the mere fact that that person made a life changing decision, and I hope na it was the best decision. I guess I know I just want to continue this. So yun, since we've been renewed in with Spotify, we actually will have 3 episodes na a week. If I'm not mistaken, our uploads will be MWF na. So, ang dami naming episodes. So, naisip ko, why not bring back Finding Happy? So, in this episode, I'm gonna read some malibags because FYI, sobrang daming malibag and ang daming naka-backlog. And this is one way of addressing those yung mga backlog na yun. So, this is more of career-related malibag. So, let's start with this one. But before that, intro. Wake Up with Jim and Saab is exclusively on Spotify.
If you want to start your own podcast, check out anchor.fm. And if you like the podcast, make sure to follow us on Spotify.
For more exclusive fun stuff, check out jimandsab.com.
Share this episode on Instagram or Twitter and tag us so we can feel heard.
Go ahead and give our podcast a 5-star rating on Spotify so we can reach more people.
Yay!
Here we go. I love my job, but I hate my work. Hi, pod parents. Please don't mention my name. You can call me P. I've been a pod kid since 2018, and I was also in the Grand Eyeball. I'm writing to you kasi sukang-suka na ako sa workplace ko. A little background, I'm a 26-year-old veterinarian, working in an emergency hospital. Oh, that's so awesome. We are open 24 hours a day, and I have at least 2 night duties per week. Dun pa lang draining na. Being a vet has been my dream since I was young, pero sobrang toxic ng clients. Dun sa part na yun, I guess it comes with the job. Pero sobrang toxic rin kasi ng management. Toxic to the point that I feel like every person working there, from the vet to the staff, is being exploited. We have so many patients coming in every day, but we're extremely understaffed. Ang dami rin pinapabayad sa amin like losses ng sales dahil sa expired products. Is that even legal? To cut it short, I feel like nagpapayaman na lang talaga yung owner ng company. My direct superior is almost useless. When faced with problems, they just rant. Lol. Anyway, I just wanted to ask advice for on how I can escape this situation. I recently invested in a car, so every month ako may binabayaran and my parents are also dependent on me. My gross salary is almost double compared to my peers, kaya parang ang hirap umalis. I need emotional and financial advice, please. Pod parents, thank you. P.S. Ang balak ko is lumipat ng ibang clinic but still work in the same field or move to SG and work there. Love, P. Okay. Um, that sucks, P. So, just a backgrounder. I before running my own business or having these businesses, I really did work in multiple companies, okay? With different cultures, with different bosses, with different um, challenges. And one thing I can say is, for sure, itong nangyayari sa'yo, it's a culture problem, okay? Everything, kasi let's take away yung toxic ng clients. Kasi let's just assume, of course, it's an emergency room. You know, like, um, of course, I'll never know what it feels like to be, you know, the doctor or the vet in an ER and having to deal with hysterical people. But let's just assume, you know, ganun talaga. You know, of course, that yun yung babies nila. So anyway, back to culture. Everything that you're saying here is, yun nga, it stems from the owners of the company. Okay, so like, yung pagpiga ng employees, yung pagpiga ng expenses, that will trickle down. Okay, if ganun ang mentality ng owners of the company, ganun ang mangyayari sa mga supervisors, sa boss, they're also gonna have that mindset na it's all about the bottom line. You know, that's why, and so kaya ako when I was working, so I had this job, super loved my I super loved the job. I loved being a copywriter. So I was a creative copywriter in an ad agency. And it was so I mean, it was like fresh out of college. Ang banu ko nung time na yun because you know, I came in zero experience and you know, I thought every commercial should be in slow motion or parang basically yung mga panggagago ko nung high school and college, like stupid ideas I thought would work in an advertising setting. So um the problem was I loved the job, but the culture was so ano ba? It was so hindi nga siya family ano eh. It was more of walang yeah, actually it was a family thing na parang the only people that can grow in the company and it was very known and people felt it and the way they acted was like, oh okay, anak to ng boss or um inaanak to ng boss. So he's gonna get siya yung in line for something. So therefore, ako as a 20-year-old, I I felt like okay, I don't have the I don't have the mental clarity to actually see na okay, parang there's a long-term thing here. Hindi ko ma-imagine. So parang kumbaga I think it was simple stuff eh. Let's say during lunch, um my bosses would order like expensive meals and then they give it to my co-copywriter na inaanak ng boss. So parang little things like that made me feel like okay, walang future. So it's not the same exact thing with you, no? Parang but I'm just saying it to spell out the point nga na culture will start from the top to the bottom. So that's the sad reality na um, even if you are in your perfect job, okay, sometimes the company is just really not fit for you. Another example sa akin, so I was with a multinational company when I got in. I was like, shit, I can't believe I got it. You know, and personally, like, um, I enjoyed what I did. It was pretty much just going around pitching and like um doing stuff that I enjoy now in Linya Linya. Like thinking of new ideas, how to execute, lead. But the culture was very frat boy. And when I say frat boy, not, yeah, frat boy talaga. As in, um, kung hindi ka makiinom with the bosses, bad shot ka. Um, I remember um, me being in a band was like a joke, like parang it was a sign of non-commitment to the company. Okay, which I super duper hate. And actually, that was a prevalent culture in like most jobs I had. Like I worked in another multinational FMCG company na ganun rin. Na the mere fact that I would leave at 6 p.m. or the fact that they know that I had a gig, it meant na, okay, this guy is never gonna be fully committed. May ganun. Aalis to. So wag tayo mag-invest dito. Wag natin. So that type of culture, kahit I love the job, alam ko na, okay, hindi ako tatagal dito. And here's the thing. Um, I think for you, P, it's about assessment. Like, do you think, kunwari, 1 out of 10, do you think there's a possibility that you could change the culture from where you are positioned? Diba? Um, because if you feel like there's no hope, then, like, kunwari, an example of this is if communication is completely shut off, which is, a real thing in most companies, especially big companies, no, na to critique upper management is a mortal sin. Um, then you may have your answer. Na, okay, mukhang I can't change this because no matter what I do, I'll still be, parang kaming mga nasa frontline, quote unquote, kami yung expendable item on their profit and loss statement. We are interchangeable and that's always going to be the culture. Diba? Kaya I super push sa linya-linya. And na pushing the why. Why do you do this? And that's because that will help the company move towards a certain direction and move with energy that goes beyond pay. And especially for you, like you're a vet. So it's actually so easy to establish a why for your company. Like if I own that clinic, it would be we're here to help the friendliest species in the world. That's our duty. And then you keep reminding them of that and you invest in people. You make sure that your people are know where they're heading. You know that they're being supported. You know that they can come to you. So yun. So anyway, to answer your question, um, which is wait, let me check. Okay, to answer your question of what should you do now? Okay, so I think it's quite clear. Alam ko naman na may financial obligations ka. Okay, so it's all. I think one thing is to at least start from a place of gratitude. Start by start from the energy na thank God I know what I want to do. Thank God you're happy with the actual job. Okay, it sucks na meron akong boss na ganito. Ganito yung kultura ng clinic. But at least, you're parang you already skipped sometimes a lifetime for some people of finding out what they want to do. Alam mo na yung gusto mong gawin. Now it's just about matching that with a company that can support that and a company that would work for you. Diba? Would work towards your desires. So um now I know options here in the Philippines is limited, pero explore. Okay? So parang Now you know that okay, I have financial obligations. I have to pay for a car. I have to kunwari, you say I make 50,000, kunwari lang. I make 50,000 a month. And you look around and there are other options, and let's say there's a 35, there's a 25, there's a 40. Then at least you know na parang ano yung what what type of metrics you will use to gauge these other options. Now, okay, this option A, this other clinic is at 35. I'll still be able to pay blah 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 blah. I'll pay for my car. I'll be able to pay for family stuff, but I might not be able to go out as much, or hindi ako makaka-shopping ng clothes, whatever. But I see their culture. I see their it looks promising. Ganda ng clinic, well staffed sila. Then it's now up to you to make that decision. Okay, so I think so again, just to recap, number one, start from a place of gratitude. Na, yes, fuck, alam ko, I know what I want to do. Okay, and then explore your options, but with a new set of eyes. Now, it's not as simple as 50, again, na 50,000, may ano yung mga ibang 50,000. Kung walang 50,000, wala na. No. Kasi you already know na 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 your happiness is not tied to your salary alone. You know that this for you to write this letter, it means that this is really bugging you. That this is something that is troubling you. So that will never be the equivalent to happiness, yung sahod mo. So again, it's a balancing. It's a balancing act, and I think that's why I called this series like Finding Happy, because at the end of the day, ikaw din naman ang makaka-determine nun eh. Hindi ko rin naman masasabi na hindi ang sweldo mo yun yung magpapasaya, ay parang hindi never yun yung magpapasaya sa'yo. Because it's possible. Let's say you're in a life stage na you're a new father, and honestly all you care about is okay, I want to go home at 6 p.m. I want to go home and I want to get this much money. Kahit kupal yung boss ko or whatever, okay lang sa akin yun. So that's why I keep pushing na it's up to you. You know naman what you want. You know what makes you happy. You have to pala do that first. Find out what makes you happy. Find out what drives you, what ticks you off. And then you explore your options. As opposed to what most people do is, which I did, what I did before. Ganito ako before. Nasa advertising ako. So, oh my God, I can't take it. I can't take another day of servicing a client. I want to be a client. So instead of seeing what were my weaknesses, triggers, things that made me happy, I looked for positions, alternative positions first. So parang, sige, ano yung mga nasa sweldo range nito? Ano yung on paper mukhang okay? Ganon. Without really assessing. Like, kaya nga, when I was a creative copywriter at a small time agency, that was my first job ever. And I moved to a multinational na, alam ko naman eh. Like, the people who were there, even sa interview, even the first few, you can smell it, honestly, in an interview or first visit to office. You can smell the culture. You know, I knew, okay, this is suntukan big boy San Mig light time, so I think I might not stay here long, pero because it was again objective, parang from a far perspective, it was like okay, parehong sweldo, something that I could consider without really thinking about me, Kasi if I really assess nung time na yun, oh wait, I enjoy writing, I enjoy pitching, I enjoy collaborating with creative people, then maybe I should have looked for another agency, Pero nung time na yun, naisip ko, shucks, ang laki ng salary bump, this would be cool, it's something I could talk to my dad about, and yun nga, again, nung time na yun, I didn't realize it, na I was finding a job that was a conversation piece for my friends or people that right now are not even in my life. So Yun, I think for you, P, at least you know what you want to do. Now just scout for more options that you think could better improve your skills and improve your happiness. And yeah, so and just go beyond the sweldo as a gauge. So yan, this was fun. I hope I was able to help out. Remember, if you just send out malibags, and if you have anything specific, career wise, I'll try to read them. Try kong ubusin sila as much as I can. Yeah. Last, I hope we see you on the album launch, November 12 at 123 Block. It is the first time that we're playing. This is Cheats, by the way, our band. We're playing our whole album, Houseplants. It's my pride, complete pride and joy. We're playing the whole album live for the first time ever. Um, yeah, and I'm so excited. I hope to see you guys. And remember, kung may isang wag kayong titipirin today is saying something nice to anyone. Wag niyong tipirin yun. Bye.